Today I want to talk with you guys about something that kind of hit home more than I expected it to, and that's been the recent drama involving what appears to be two sides of the Overwatch community sort of butting heads. We've got the casual side, which enjoys shitposting, memes, play of the games, cosplay, and fan art. And then we've got the competitive side, which cares about the professional players, the tournaments, and the growth and fostering of the esports scene. Now, both of these are I guess we'll call valid groups. I really hate separating people into groups, but without a better way to express this idea, we've got a side of people who are more casual and more about the fun side of it, and a side of people who are more competitive and more serious. So we'll say they're two different groups, and they've really been butting heads over the past day or two because of this petition that recently came up. So this was actually put forth by Monte Cristo. Now, if you've never heard of him, he's actually a very well-known figure in the esports community. I believe he got his name off of League of Legends esports commentary, and he's recently moved over to Overwatch. In fact, you've probably seen him if you've watched any Overwatch tournaments, any of the esports side of the game. And he's very talented, he's very good at what he does, and he undoubtedly cares deeply about the competitive side of things. Now, you could of course argue that part of the reason he cares so deeply is because this is his job, it's his security, this is where he plans to make his future and have financial success. But I don't doubt that he's also very passionate about it, because this sort of industry, whether you're like a YouTuber or whether you're a Twitch streamer or whether you're a reviewer or a journalist or whether you're in esports, it's a very passion-fueled industry. Generally, the people who get involved in this and dedicate their life to it, it's because they're passionate about it. It's not just for the money. Although you can be successful financially in these fields, most of the people who are successful are so because they're so passionate, and that passion shines through, and that's what makes them good at their jobs. And Monte Cristo, no doubt, is one of those people. So he obviously has a stake in this. He wants esports to do well, and since he's decided to move over to Overwatch, he wants Overwatch esports to do well. Well, he put up a petition, essentially, if I were to break it down, saying that while he appreciates and respects the job that moderators do on the official Overwatch subreddit, r/Overwatch, he does hope that they could tone down some of the low-effort content, those 10 to 15 second play of the game clips, or, X hero fucking dies, which, mind you, some of the funniest shit I've seen on the subreddit in a long time. Just, the stuff that people could quickly consume and the stuff that gets a lot of upvotes. And the idea was that because this stuff is so easily consumable and people can rife through it very quickly and upvote everyone that they like, it tends to drown out more serious side of things. Discussion about tactics in the game, about professional plays, about the upcoming tournaments, about tournaments that took place, and recognizing good players and their skill, about recognizing awesome commentary or great camera work. All of that stuff is a lot more time consuming to actually go through. If a lot of people would rather just watch a 10-second clip of something that's funny or impressive than read several paragraphs about the skillful tactics used by so-and-so professional team and how amazing it was. While I don't disagree with him that there is a phenomena created because of the fact that it's so easy to consume one style of content and it takes so much more time to consume another style of content, you have to wonder if this is just simply what these people want. The people who visit r/Overwatch, that's what they want. I mean, look at the numbers. We have on the competitive Overwatch subreddit under 100,000 subscribers, while on the official Overwatch subreddit we have coming up on now 800,000 subscribers. They went there and they hit that subscribe button based on what they were viewing. If that front page had been filled with mostly serious discussion and paragraphs upon paragraphs of strategic talk or breaking down of professional plays, and would so many people have subscribed? Do the people who are part of that community care about that? And I think that's where this sort of divisiveness is coming, because we have one side of the community that really cares. Like I said, I have no doubt these people are genuine and sincere about their passion for this side of the game, the competitive side of the game, and they really want that to succeed and do well. But it's almost like shuffling against the tide when you look at the other side of the community that maybe they just simply don't care, and maybe that's the problem. In this discussion, I've been seeing a lot of people bringing up some other subreddits, like that of Counter-Strike Go. You know, that's a subreddit that's actually mostly filled with a lot of discussion of esports and the competitive side of things and tactics and getting better at the game. But there's a big difference between CSGO and Overwatch. And maybe that fundamental difference is part of the reason why the Overwatch subreddit is so filled with memes and jokes, and the CSGO subreddit is so filled with serious discussion, because people who play CSGO take it very seriously, and that's a very competitive, focused game. Whereas Overwatch, I would argue, by and large, is a fun, casual game. It's built around a competitive nature, it's built around team-based gameplay, but in the design of the different heroes, their different skills, their ultimates, some heroes basically hard countering others, where it's almost a guaranteed win in 1v1 situations. Just the essence of the game, the nature of the game, the design of the heroes, even the look and the coloring of the game and the advertising for the game. Overwatch is much more casual, so I don't know that we should be surprised that the main Overwatch subreddit is much more casual in nature with the content that's getting popular than that of CSGO. Now, what I will say is I think that there is certainly room for more moderation, and I don't disagree with the notion that we could use more serious posts and more serious discussion on the front page of the Overwatch subreddit. But what I will say is that it also would probably need to be presented in an entertaining manner. You know, I've had this discussion quite a lot with a lot of people. Sometimes, you know, when I stream Overwatch, for example, you'll get people who come in and say things like, "Oh man, this guy sucks. Why is he popular? Why does he have a relatively large YouTube channel?" Something that people need to realize is that for many, many people, whether they're viewing Twitch or checking out videos on YouTube, this is simply a form of entertainment. And it's more important to a lot of those people that they be entertained, that they watch something that they think is fun, funny, or informative, or presented in a well manner. That is more important than just watching the people who have the best skill, who maybe aren't presenting things in a good manner. So I think a lot of what the problem is that we actually don't have a lot of content creation that is presented well, interesting, funny, or entertaining. We've got some great analysis commentators out there, people like Flame. I've watched a lot of his videos. Flame puts out some very awesome in-depth analysis. Like, he does a good job of that. The problem? The videos aren't entertaining to watch. They're not edited at all, as far as I could tell from a lot of the stuff that I watched. And that's just not gonna cut it. And that's just the fact of the matter. We just have to realize, I think people just have to realize that a large portion, I would probably say a vast majority of the audience of any game, especially Overwatch, they just want to have fun, they just want to laugh, they just want to be entertained. And if you show them an hour-long video of someone pausing every 5 seconds and talking about, like, the player's decision-making, most people just aren't gonna care. And that's just the truth of it. So if we want more serious discussion about the game, about the competitive side, about esports, we just need people to make better content on that side of things. Even that might not be enough. Like I said, there's plenty of great content creators who do discuss esports and the competitive nature out there. There's some channels dedicated to it. I think Your Overwatch is one that does a great job of that. Like I said, Flame also does a good job, even though his presentation side could do a little bit better job. He's very knowledgeable and skilled about that stuff. But do people care about Overwatch esports? Or to rephrase it, do most players of Overwatch care about Overwatch esports? Based on the nature of the official subreddit, I would say no, at least not now. And I don't blame them. Because to be frank, it's been kind of a grab bag. You know, I've watched some really great Overwatch tournaments with some great camera work and some great commentators. But I've also seen some really shit tournaments. Things that had just way too much downtime in between matches. The commentary wasn't great. I've watched tournaments where commentary was done over Skype with people with terrible microphones, which audio quality is very important. I think people don't give enough credence to the value of audio quality. If you have bad audio quality, it'll turn people off real quick. Bad camera work, missing plays, all sorts of stuff. It's not helping the cause, I'll tell you that much. And I'm not here to discredit those people. Again, those people care, they're clearly passionate, and they're doing the best that they can. But Overwatch is not, I think, fundamentally the greatest game when it comes to a viewer experience. And because of that, it really needs that extra level of production value and quality to get people to get into watching it. That's just my personal opinion. I could be totally off base. And all of that stuff aside, whether or not we get the best produced, the best commentary, the best everything for tournaments, that still doesn't guarantee that most of the people who play Overwatch are going to give a crap about it. That doesn't even guarantee that Overwatch as an esport is going to be successful, no matter how hard Blizzard is pushing it. They really want it to be a successful esport, and we've got the Overwatch League coming out, and I hope for nothing but the best, because I would love to watch more well-presented tournaments. But even with all the money and all the time and all the resources and all the production value in the world, nothing's a surefire bet. And we just don't know. I'm just not certain. I'm not convinced of the fact that people actually care, enough people actually care about Overwatch as an esport. And trying to force that side of the game upon them isn't gonna change that. And I wanna say, this notion that Monty or anyone else is trying to come in and ruin the fun of the Overwatch subreddit, come on guys, he's clearly just looking to get some more serious talk about the game up. And I don't necessarily disagree with that maybe there should be some effort put towards that, in terms of the moderation, in terms of making it so that just shit posting doesn't dominate the front page. But at the end of the day, if shit posting is what those almost 800,000 people who subscribe to the Overwatch subreddit want, then that's what they should be able to view. That's what they subscribed for. So that's what the subreddit should give them. All right, everybody, that is gonna do it for me today. A little bit more of a serious discussion about something that I just felt like I wanted to share my opinion on. Please, as always, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Hope you all have a good afternoon. And until next time, I'll see you later.